This is going to be our final event, right? So thank you all for sticking around and stay until the final moment. Now we have one great guest speaker. Let me briefly introduce him. Hao-Jan, Professor Chen, is a distinguished professor of the English department at National Taiwan Normal University, Taipei, Taiwan. Normal University actually means education, but they use normal. And he is the convener of the Linguistic Division, Ministry of Science and Technology in Taiwan. It's an organization giving grants, research funds to scholars. His research interests include computer-assisted language learning, corpus research, and second language acquisition. He has published widely on those areas in computer-assisted language learning, recall, and several related journals. His recent MOST research project is developing AI and large language model-based tools for automatic feedback on English writing and speaking. This is translated by ChatGPT because I can only find the Chinese title. Okay, Professor Chen served as the Associate Editor of the ETS, Educational Technology and Society Journal, and is on the editorial board of Computer Assisted Language Learning Journal. In addition, he managed a Taiwanese nationwide English learning website called Cool English. The website now has more than 2.31 million registered users. It's a high quality, funded by Ministry of Education in Taiwan. It offers courses from elementary to high schools with diverse and rich content that helps students develop their English skills. So let's welcome Professor Chen to give us a talk on how to enhance English language learning with technology and AI.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. Okay, and thank you for coming to the very late session. Okay, and hope you enjoy the conference in this beautiful campus. Okay, but it sounds with an echo. Do you feel that way? Yeah. So pardon me for this. Okay, a little bit echo. I can adjust it to be like a singer. Okay, I'm a singer here. Okay, so it's easy for me. Okay. So anyway, thank for Chair Chu. Okay, for her very kind introduction. Okay, and it's my great honor to serve as speaker in this conference. I will quickly talk about, because Professor Chu already introduced the website called Cool English. Okay, if you're really curious, you can turn on your cell phone and you search Cool English Taiwan. Okay, then you can log in directly with your Gmail account. It's free for everybody. Okay, it's actually sponsored by the government in Taiwan. Okay, they actually make it free for everybody. Okay, so today I'm not going to actually promote the website because I guess most of you are actually familiar with that. But I'm talking about more like narrowly focusing on AI. Okay, all these artificial intelligence stuff we cover in Cool English website. Okay, so I will move on. Okay, but before that, I'll just give you a very a basic introduction about the concept of using technology. Okay, and I guess probably recognize this famous professor, and we use his textbooks around the world for many years. His name is Jack Richards. Okay, and he actually introduced us to the TESOL methodology. And when he reached like 70, I think it's close to 80. Okay, at this point. Okay, and he still advocates the importance of learning outside of classroom. Okay, so it's very important to using e-learning technology to further enhance learners' competence. Okay, so I'm just using this idea and saying we learn English, we must not rely on classroom only, but also we make good use of after school time. Okay, so with the support of the MOE, okay, so we begin to create this so-called Full English website in Taiwan. And of course, we are so lucky to have a lot of experts to help us. We have a TESOL people, we have a computer scientists, we have a commerce people, we have a lot of e-learning experts join our team to create this interesting website. Okay, so anyway, so this is like our logo. We're going to check to see the English website here. And it's funded by the Ministry of Education, and actually it's run mainly in my university. It's called National Taiwan Normal University. We call it normal because we are a normal, really normal university. We focus on academics. Okay, so it's a term borrowed from Europe. If you are not really familiar with this tradition, in a lot of the European schools, they call it a normal university. It means it's dedicated to education. Okay, so anyway, we begin to offer this website starting like 10 years ago. You can see it's 2015 in June. We launched it. Okay, and now luckily, okay, with the support of government and also teachers and school students, okay, we actually cover this many areas. It's like 4 skills with vocabulary, with grammar, with all kinds of learning materials online. Okay, and then you're probably curious about what kind of things we offer. So I quickly summarize all the material we cover in this website. So we have various types of interactive videos. We have a lot of videos for you to watch. It's for free, okay? And it's mostly focused on the learning of English as a second language. And we have a lot of speaking activity because we emphasize a lot on English in the website. So using the ASR, I'm going to introduce that part. And also a lot of reading material. Okay, so we rent, okay, a lot of books from publishers, okay, on the internet and pay like yearly. And we also have a very kind of writing support, writing kind of tools available, and we even have RPG games. Trust me, okay, it's not joking. It's really English learning RPG. Okay, so you can play a certain role, you solve your problem, you finish your test, and you learn your English. Okay, and then we also have some preparation material for examination, because English is considered as a very important subject in Taiwan for you to pass the entrance exam. Okay, so we help students to prepare that. And 7, okay, we have a supplementary material because we have a lot of so-called textbooks. Okay, we have a lot of vendors, they are selling the textbook, and we are preparing this material for this material. We give you additional material for that. And the last part, I call it red because that's the focus today. I only focus on the last part. It's talking about NLP and also AI technology and how we use that to improve our website further. Okay, so this is the number. Because we were pushed to report this number to MOE like monthly. Because they say, we invest a lot of money on your website. You better tell us how many people are using it. Okay, so this is the number. Okay, last March. Okay, this is the recent number. Okay, you can see. Okay, we increased to 2.3 million registered users. Okay, you're not just a visitor. You have to register so we can help you in. Okay, in this website. Okay, so you can register easily through your Gmail. It's free. Okay, you don't need to do that. Okay, so imagine that this is too cute style. You like this style, right? I guess this is getting very popular these days. Okay, and we are thinking, okay, how AI can help children or teens to improve their English. So I'll give you 2 cute pictures so you can imagine, okay, what we plan to do. Okay, so there are 5 major subsections in my talk. I'm going to divide it into 5 major parts. Okay, number 1, we're talking about, as I just mentioned, ASR. And probably you are familiar with the ASR. Means you're talking to a machine. A machine can judge your speaking and pronunciation. Okay, and number 2, we have AI chatbots. It's everywhere, right? Because now with ChatGPT, everybody knows the chatbot. Okay, chatbot is very powerful. And how do we design the bots to help kids and teens? Okay, in Taiwan. And number 3, of course, we have to know the term Grammarly. Everybody know about Grammarly because it's all the brand everywhere. Okay, but how can we like replace or even to go further? Okay, to further improve the Grammarly kind of checker. Okay, and number 4, we're talking how we can infuse directly. Like in this room, I think we are all educators. Okay, how do you use AI resources to help educators to create material for students? And number 5. Assessment. If you have a learning, then you have an assessment, right? Okay, and how to do better using technology to assess learning, okay, okay, in a more interesting way, okay? So number one, we have a lot of, through these past years, like 10 years, we have been trying all kinds of technology. And number one, and then all this time, we have the NTNU engine. We have professors, okay? We have Professor Chen, he's one of the leading experts in Taiwan doing the ASR. So we have a local engine doing the judgment for student pronunciation. And then we move on with his recommendation. He said, Microsoft is actually doing a better job, okay? Because it's a big company. Okay, so we are moving to Microsoft doing the assessment tool, or doing the speech recognition tool. And then all of a sudden we have a company called OpenAI, everybody knows, right? Okay, and they have an interesting tool called Whisper. Okay, probably you heard about it, but have you tried that? It's called Whisper. Okay, it's a kind of tool to transcribe what you say into text. Okay, so it's kind of cool. Okay, but later how we incorporate that, that's the older one. So if you log on to our website, you're able to see this is funny, okay, little drawing, this is drawing by our college students. Okay, very cute pictures. This is all this version by Professor Chen, and he's actually contributed a lot, okay, and allows students to practice with his engine. And then we move on, this is like an interface, very simple. I trust that everybody will see it clearly, so I move on here. So you can click on, if you record it, please press a key here, and then you will be able to, okay, save the sentences. Okay, and you get a feedback right away from the engine. Okay? So, and then we move on to Microsoft. Okay, probably see, wow, that's very similar. Okay, for example, number one sentence, do you celebrate Lunar New Year? Okay, you will say that directly via your microphone. Imagine you are an elementary school student. That would be kind of challenging, okay, a little bit, okay, because you probably didn't recognize the word. Okay, so you try your very best, so you can click this audio button here. You can listen to the correct pronunciation first. And then you try to imitate, try as hard as you can, and say the sentence out loud. And the machine is going to judge whether you pass the challenge or not. Okay, so we're going to quickly give you, okay, sorry. Okay, so I'll quickly give you example. Like preserve the oh, sorry. So make it louder. Can you hear it better?
Sure, let me check.
Okay, I'm reading the sentence. Imagine I'm a student. I'm reading this demonstration. Okay, this.
What time would you like to go through?
Okay, do you notice that I deliberately make a mistake? Okay, and sorry.
Can we put the table from 7 p.m.
Do you hear that? I say from. Okay. Okay, do you think that actually you detect the machine actually detect my mistake? Okay, yeah. Okay, so you get it. Okay, so it's right away, even a proposition error. Okay, if you mispronounce that word, you're going to quickly highlight a particular word for you very accurately and also very thoroughly. Okay, very, very good. Okay, correctly pointed out. This is your problem. Okay, so I'm quickly, sorry, I'm making it too big, so rather than this super large. Okay, smaller. Okay, quickly jump into. Okay, so that's Microsoft part. Okay, so you can constantly produce sounds and get feedback. And how about OpenAI stuff? Okay, so this idea, we try to combine a little bit different thing. A lot of teachers say, yes, Howard, this is interesting. I can read the sentence out loud, right? But can I choose my own material? I don't want to repeat your sentence. I want to throw in a passage from the textbook I like. Or I want to throw in a conversation between two speakers. I don't want to be controlled by full English. Okay, can you do things like that? Okay, you would say, yes, it's really a good idea. Okay, so definitely we respect the innovation. So we use ChatGPT to generate a passage. So whenever you have keywords, okay, you have keyword there, you type in the keywords, you say the summer vacation, let's see, Taiwan summer vacation. You want to talk about lots of passages. Okay, so you type into the keywords, you get the passage translated right away because they can come up with text easily. And then what do you need to do? you need to read the passage out loud. Okay, so now it's students' turn. Okay, after they decide the content, they were going to read it out loud. Okay, so start recording that. Okay, and then after you read the passage out loud, what will happen? They give you actually, you see that? Okay, so now I'm reading that. Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry, I'm doing the demonstration here. Okay, we'll see. Okay, imagine, okay, I'm reading the passage.
And now we can generate the passage first. Okay, so for example, I'm going to have you 30 words, and then the ChatGPT is going to generate a short text for you. And then you can click start recording. I love summer in Taiwan. During my vacation, I enjoy swimming at the beach and eating delicious street food. Taiwan is a fantastic destination for summer holidays. You can listen to your
Okay, listen to your own production. Okay, and then you also see
here, stop here, and then you can see if today you made any errors, okay, then they will tell you which word is problematic, or they tell you overall the similarity between your own output and the model here.
Sorry, from my angle, probably the screen is not so perfect. Okay, I'll probably the question in the next question. Okay, so let me try to show you some other stuff. Okay, so probably you will be happy to say, oh yeah, this is good for speaking skill. Okay, and we have some tool for pro level, right, like the threshold level, and even the sentential level. Okay, but probably the teacher will say, can you give us more? We want real interaction, but you don't offer us real interaction. You give us some exercises. Okay, we actually produce something, and you get feedback, and we improve the individual words, individual sentences, but we didn't actually engage in real communication. Can you give us something more? Okay, and of course, the team will say, yes, let's try this chatbot. Okay, yeah, and then we get into the story. You are very familiar. Okay, you are very familiar with ChatGPT, right? Okay, so I will quickly go into that. And there are tons of, before ChatGPT, there are tons of chatbots around the world, right? Okay, if you have more experience in this area, you can see you have an Alice bot. Okay, this is one of the best part, okay, in the world. And Cookie, okay, this is top, okay, get a very big prize. It's called, also change name and turn it to Mitsuku, but they are still maintaining a website. If you are curious about it, you can jot down the terms and you can search. And are you familiar with Alexa? Okay, Amazon Alexa, you can say, Alexa, play classical music. Okay, and Alexa will play classical music for you. Okay, and next one, ChatGPT bots. Okay, and now you're familiar with ChatGPT. Okay, I'm going to show you that. Okay, this is Cookie or Mitsuku. Okay, so you see the interaction. Okay, so it's kind of dark, so you cannot see the text. It's fine. Okay, I'll just show you. We have tried different bots at different stages. Okay, but the outcome is really, really terrible. Okay, for example, this is interesting bot from Stanford. And we say, wow, this is from Stanford, the best university in the world. It must be good. Okay, but the problem is you cannot even differentiate between Thai and Taiwan. Okay, because they don't have a database about these Asian countries. Okay, so we give up and say, no, we don't want that. And we say, wow, that's great. With open AI, ChatGPT, now we got a solution because this guy knows everything. Okay, yeah, so we are happy to chat with ChatGPT, but the problem is it gives you super long answer, right? Do you remember that? Still now, if you talk to ChatGPT, it will generate a whole paragraph for you. Do you want to talk to a person in a paragraph? You don't want to talk to that, right? So our student will say, no, this is crazy. Okay, so when I say, give us the question 2, what's the most famous food in Taiwan? So you can see the screen. This is like the whole passage. Do you want this answer? No, you don't like that. Okay, so what about the others? The best time to visit Taiwan, okay? We give you all the analysis of 4 seasons. Do you love that? Of course, but you don't have time. You don't want to discuss with someone about this long, right? So the way is, how do you, the older version is actually over your best. If you can read it, if you cannot, okay? So how much do you know about Taiwan? I guess some of you cannot see it clearly. Okay, I read out loud for you. How much do you know about Taiwan? The button answers, I know a bit about Taiwan. It's an island in East Asia, near China and the Philippines. Okay, the capital city Taiwan is Taipei, which has many tall buildings. Okay, so this sounds reasonable, right? This is all chat, very old ChatGPT with very constrained answer. Okay, but make it more realistic in a way, right? You want to converse about in this fashion. Okay, so what are the famous food in Taiwan? When you ask the question, you will say some famous food in Taiwan include bubble tea, sticky tofu, beef noodle soup, oyster omelette, and pineapple cake. How about our local audience? Do you have the answer? It's close to 100, right? It's all correct. Okay, hitting the very important parts. Okay, so this is better. This is much better than the longer version. But the problem is, how do you constrain that? How do you make it shorter? And for each and every student, you want them to be very consistent. You don't want that. Sometimes they see a super long answer. Sometimes you see a very short answer. Okay, so you have to go back and think about the challenge, how to constrain, providing too much information at this time. Okay, so probably for lower level learners, you need to create something more customized. Okay, so we have a cool e-bar. This is also free. You can log on the internet. Okay, and this is about combining text-to-speech technology, ASR technology, AI database, things like that. Okay, so this is the interface you're going to see. Okay, and you have different people to talk to. You have cartoon, you have people, you have adventure story, you have job interviews, all kinds of things you can try. Okay, but this is interface. I probably jump directly to the demonstration. Okay, you can see how many people you can talk to. Do you recognize some of them? Yes. Okay, I guess you must know this guy, right? He's getting these notorious people. Okay, this is everybody talking about this gentleman. Okay, yeah, Donald Trump. Do you want to talk to Donald Trump for free? Okay, probably. And of course, you prefer this one, right? You want to talk to cartoon figures, right? Do you recognize some of them? Yes, I see some people, some young scholars are nodding their head and say, yes, I love that. Okay, and this is more. Okay, we have Superman, Sponge, okay, Spider-Man even, okay? Okay, so more people too. So our very dedicated assistant, they created close to 300 chatbots. So we now have 300 chatbots available for different purposes, different topics, okay? And then, so you will say, okay, so if I say something wrong, will your system correct us? Yes, we are giving you a very light suggestion, okay, at the end, okay, with color and saying you can check the suggestion. If you don't want, you can still continue to talk, okay? The bot won't intervene, but you can check your feedback here, okay? So I think I better, if I, okay, yes, okay. And we have a sub bonus. If you really say the bot is talking super fast, like Howard, okay, then probably you can say, Howard, I want to adjust your talking speed. Slow down a little bit, please. Okay, so you can do that also. And let's move on to the demonstration. I'm going to talk to Buzz Lightyear, okay? So I choose Buzz Lightyear as my partner. And you can see, this is very dry conversation because I know little about Buzz Lightyears. Okay, so let's try.
Buzz Lightyear.
Okay, so, sorry, this is Chinese in the very beginning, but I can engage in English quickly.
Hey, I'm Howard. Nice to meet you.
I'm using microphone.
Nice to meet you too, Howard. I am Buzz Lightyear.
This is real time.
Do you like space?
Yes, I love space very much.
Look at my answer. I fake. Okay. I have no idea.
That's great to hear, Howard. As a space ranger myself, I have explored many galaxies and encountered all sorts of aliens. What interests you the most about space?
You see us up there? I don't know how to
think it's
respond.
so big, and I have no idea about it.
And whenever you say something, he's going to respond, right?
Indeed, space is vast and full of wonders waiting to be discovered. Have you ever looked up at the stars in the night sky? It's a beautiful sight.
He's very sincere,
Yes,
right? He's
a
trying to
lot of
convince you.
There are so many.
Okay, so you get the idea? You can continue to explore.
Absolutely. Howard, we can even go on a mission together and discover new frontiers.
Okay, he's inviting you to join. Okay, join the Buzz Lightyear. Okay, so you can see from the example, you can see why, okay, these characters are more friendly because they speak a little bit slower and also with simpler vocabulary items because we constrained by using a lot of prompts. Okay, I guess you know about the prompt engineering. Okay, so you can control the bus by using the prompts. Okay, you can change that. Okay, so anyway, let's move on to the following. Okay, so if you like, you can use the avatar if you like because you're talking to a real small little tiny picture there. Okay, but now you probably want to change it to Obama. Okay, if you like. Okay, this is like if we check with Obama in the text. I think it's a little bit dark, so I won't show you. Okay, you have Donald Trump. If you like, you can actually create Donald Trump to talk with. And do you want to see the text? I guess some of you sitting in the back will be very curious on what he said. Okay, let me read out for you. Okay, Donald Trump is your English teacher. Okay, his name is Donald Trump. Okay, so I would say hello, and Donald Trump would say, "Welcome to my English class. It's going to be tremendous, believe me." Okay, does it sound like Donald Trump? Very much so. Okay, the following question, I say, I believe it's challenging. You can say, what's your name? Of course, I know he's Donald Trump. And I say, what's your name? Okay, and he said, I'm Donald Trump, the best English teacher you have ever seen. Okay, very proud. Okay, the following, okay, so I'm attacking, okay, how old are you? Okay, and he said, I'm much younger than Sleepy Joe Biden. Let me tell you about that. This is a typical Donald Trump language. Okay, and why he can imitate that much? Because we designed the role as Donald Trump. And he is an English teacher, by the way. Okay, in this setting. Okay, so you can, a lot of things you can change, you can adjust by using OpenAI. Okay, and then the following things ChatGPT and recently pulled out a thing called real time. Okay, make the interaction sound like you are talking to a real person, not just EDS. Okay, so actually we are doing this and you can have a conversation like back and forth. Okay, but I don't want to waste your time, but because we have probably, I think I have an hour left. Okay, so I will better catch up. Okay, but probably I can show you a demonstration. Okay, so we have a demonstration here. And it's going to be very interesting because we are talking about something really difficult, okay? And look at how you respond, okay? That's cool.
Okay, I got it. But can you give me more example?
Okay, we're talking about certain topic about this so-called scandal.
Political plots, cover-ups, financial scams.
So he's defining scandal
There's a
for
lot
me.
of words.
Yeah.
Can you use some simpler?
Okay, as a learner, I would say, speak something simple I can understand, okay?
Absolutely. Secret plans, tricks, or lies.
You follow that? That's called scandal.
Cool. But I want some real example. Can you give us a real example?
Okay, you're talking to a real person.
Sure, Watergate scandal was a real conspiracy.
Very true
Wow,
answer.
that's interesting. Tell me more about this scandal.
It involved President Nixon's cover-up of a break-in.
Okay, so now you see the problem in our prototype here?
Tell me more.
We are dealing with more like advanced level kind of topic, okay? And the but was actually constrained a little bit by the prompt engineering and not telling you too much information at the time, okay? So it's actually controlled by the programmer, okay? So it gives you a very, very short answers for a very complex idea, okay? So it means you can go back and fine-tune and to adjust a little bit about the responses from the machine. So you can always come back to adjust that, okay? So anyway, this is like real-time stuff we are experimenting at this point, okay? So I will show you something else. So you're probably tired of speaking. Let's do writing, okay? And writing, everybody in probably in this room, okay? Actually need to publish, okay? Need to get your paper, probably in the journals. And a lot of ESL learners, you can see how they struggle, right? They need to produce a lot of text, but they probably cannot get very good feedback from the teachers because we are all non-native, okay? Because it's very challenging for non-native speaker to correct, okay, the formal academic writing, okay? But so these are famous names. Probably you see that Grammarly #1 and ProWrite and the Hemingway writer, Ginger, White Smoke, you name it. You have a lot of different tools available, okay? Then you like Grammarly, #1 tool in the world. So how many of you actually use Grammarly? You want to wave your hand? Let me know. Yes, many of you. Do you like it? Do you think it's really good? Yeah, it's pretty good already. But our general perception from the free version, we are not using the premium, okay? From our students, it's good, but not always useful. Okay, sometimes they give you the information is not correct or very relevant. Okay, another famous company is Quillbot. If you never tried, you definitely need to go home and try it. It's even better than Grammarly. It's called Quillbot. Okay, so if you try Quillbot, you say, wow, this is very impressive. But the problem is Quillbot correct your writing without giving you explanation. There is no explanation. They just correct it for you. Okay, so you say, my student actually say, well, this is very challenging. I want to see why they correct me. Okay, then what else? Then on the coding side, we have OpenAI grammar check. Okay, and in OpenAI, you can ask the AI to give you explanation and feedback, right? Okay, so now you can have different color. You can say highlight a proverb with different color. What's one solution? Okay, but students don't love that. Then they say color is good, but I need explanation. Okay, so in this, probably it's too small for you. Okay, when you see there are 3 columns, you see that there are 3 parts. In this part, okay, when I move mouse here, this is original sentences. The second column is a revised sentence. The third item is feedback and explanation. And look at the following one. See, this is bigger one. You see the 3 columns more clearly? Okay, and then you move on to. We even can get the feedback in Chinese. Okay, so all the high school students love the option. They say, teacher, this is more friendly. Okay, we want to see you explain my problem, my error, my misconceptions in Chinese. Okay, of course you can twist around, change it to Korean, change it into Vietnamese you like. Okay, so it's all controlled by the AI prompts. You can change them. Okay, so if you want to see the demonstration, probably I will show you one example here. Let me see if I can click on that.
Okay, so this is the section for high school students to practice their general writing. And you click on the writing assistant, you're going to see the personal interface, like the writing section. And you can copy and paste. For example, this is a real writing sample from a high school student. Okay, so I can then click on check my writing. And this is real-time demonstration, so it will take a while for the machine to generate a table like this.
For a human teacher, we probably take us 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
That, based on all the
5 seconds
input, okay, the system will be able to divide it into the original sentences, revised sentences, and the feedback explaining the errors. Okay.
Good idea.
So.
Okay. I will move on. Okay, this is because you are experts. Okay, I won't waste the time, but Okay, so you will be curious, like many of my good friends, they will say, how accurate is your checker? MOE constantly raise the question and say, Howard, are you sure you create a reasonable good feedback to students in Taiwan? Can you guarantee that? Okay, so my super strong student did a wonderful study. Okay, he analyzed the top 500 errors published by Longman. Okay, so Longman did a wonderful job for us. He collected the 500 common errors, okay, and provide human feedback on these 500 errors. So we have a benchmark, right? We have a baseline to compare. Okay, so we throw in the 500 sentences into these checkers. And you see the outcome? You see the ChatGPT 3.5 now? This is the old version, right? So you can see 85.3 accurate, means he can identify 100 out of 85 out of 100 errors correctly. Okay, compared to human correction. Look at this highest number is 4.0, right? It's reached to 90% accurate. Okay, already very good, because even for a human teacher, you can identify all these 100 errors correctly. Okay, so the Grammarly Premium, this time we pay fee for Premium, okay? And we go to the old version of the Grammarly and say, only without AI support, they only get 57.2 correct. Okay, now you feel better? Okay, so we are not actually cheating, okay, the student, okay? And a more recent study, this is very recent, just happened last year. We check again. Look at ChatGPT 3.5, similar, it's 87, slightly better, okay? ChatGPT 4, okay, look at the number, move on, okay, getting better. Gemini, you are familiar with Google stuff, 85, 84. And Cloud 3, now you have another competitor, now it's 3.7, I guess, okay? Cloud, 87, still very good, okay? So you can see this AI tool is actually moving fast, okay? So probably in in this year, we have a different number. Okay, this is, you can apply to TOEIC. Many students are taking TOEIC. No one is giving them any feedback, okay? So we created a TOEIC tools for students, and students love that. Okay, so I want to demonstrate that similar idea. Okay, number 4, this is most relevant for most of you, is how do teachers actually use these tools? So this is actually collaboration between engineer, TESOL people, and experts. Okay, but how do teachers do that? Okay, so are you familiar with those terms? These are very common, and you can pay like $20 a month. You can get free access to this tool. Okay, I just read it then. Magic School, does it ring a bell? Okay, Magic School, EduEd, Kamigo, from this very famous Khan Academy. Okay, if you are from States, you will definitely know. Different, okay, it means differentiated instruction. Okay, number 5, Socrates by Google. Okay, Gradescope is dedicated to assessment only. Okay, AccuReport, okay, this is company actually doing the AI tool. So you can pay $20 or less, you get an account, and you can create material for you. This is like an overall survey. And so, similarly, because going this website is sponsored by the government, so we want to have similar service for Taiwanese teachers without paying a penny. Okay? So we have these tools available on the website. So you can do vocabulary quiz, you can do true false question, you can have like a quiz maker, and you can even throw in the TTS sounds with your dialogue. Okay, so these are all the tools with the service. Okay, and we can even create numerous, actually with BlueScout, so many tools we can create. These are the tools actually you can do to serve teachers and students. Okay, so please log into our website because there are too many things to cover. Okay, so you can log in to try. Okay, and some even free teacher tools, as I just described to you. Okay, you can have it's really small, really make bigger. Okay, but this is too small for you. I know. Yeah, but actually it's not that helpful. Okay, so you can see you have clothes, you have a lot of different things reading, you have quizzes, things like that. Okay, so anyway, you probably log in and you can see better. Okay, and then let's move on. Try. So the projection is actually in fact not so good. Okay, and even very recently, okay, we create a Macmillan dictionary online. And you say, Howard, you must be crazy. Why do you bother to create a dictionary online? Because Macmillan closed their service. They closed their collocation dictionary, and any student will say, this is the best collocation dictionary in the world. How can you close that? Okay, and one student come to me and say, Howard, can we do something about that? Okay, say, yeah, I know how they created. If I write a prompt and ask AI to collect information, to design an interface, do the classification, probably we can replicate. We can do a Macmillan collocation dictionary, and actually we made it. It's available. Okay, so it's not difficult. Use your Chat GPT, okay, your My ChatGPT service. Okay, you can create a dictionary online. Okay, this is not stealing from them. Okay, it's recreate with similar ideas. Okay, and AI is going to search on the internet and find a pattern for the collocation view. Okay, so this is really visible. Okay, and then so I would say, teacher probably say this is really like a good friend. Okay, and what are the available tools? So we are promoting the following 3 tools. Okay, so you probably need to write down, probably especially the first 2. Okay, these are super useful for you. Number 1 is called My ChatGPT. Okay, it's you pay $20, you get this service. As I just told you, we create a Macmillan dictionary using number 1 tool. This is ChatGPT. The second one, I don't want to pay any money, just my student. My student say, I don't want to pay a penny, but I want to do experiment. Okay? So you can see that you can choose Hugging Face. Okay, this is free. And they have a Hugging Face assistant. Actually give you free access to my ChatGPT service. Very similar. Okay? Yeah, Charlie didn't charge you anything. Okay? And number 3, actually I'm talking to the local audience. Actually, we are collaborating with MediaTek. I guess probably some of you know MediaTek company. Lianbake. Okay, if I say Chinese, probably ring a bell. Okay, this is the biggest technology company in Taiwan. And they are creating a tool called DaVinci. Okay, this is copied from OpenAI, I guess. Okay, so they say they want to have a teacher interface. They want to serve teacher and serve the regular people without doing the coding. Okay, follow the idea? Okay, so the 3 major tools. This is ChatGPT. So many of you are familiar with this page. Okay, you can create anything you like. Second thing, this is probably new to most of you. You go to Hugging Face and you have an interface called Hugging Chat Assistant. Okay, now you can change different models. Okay, so you can try which model is actually better serve your audience. Okay, you can do that. The last thing, okay, as I told you, this Hugging Chat, we create a lot of bots with Hugging Chat's help. Okay, so you're going to see this. This is one example for you. You're going to see the interface. It's very similar to ChatGPT, right? Still one line there. Okay, you type in something, the bot is come back with answer and suggestion, and even some material for you. Okay, so this start interface is engineered from the MediaTek. They are actually sharing the whole platform to us. Okay, so now probably next month we are going to introduce the platform to all the teachers in Taiwan. Okay, we are allowed them to create material. Okay, and we are going to run a national contest. Okay, allow teachers to compete for a better idea, and we are giving their allowance for that. Okay, number 5 is the last part. Okay, I think this is pretty difficult and also challenging part, but I think that some of you will be curious. Okay, and about this crazy idea. Okay, but okay, for example, just take writing as an example. You see that writing, you can throw it in, you get a feedback, you get a score if you like. Okay, you can actually give you score. And some people will say, I'm more concerned about student vocabulary knowledge. You can create a vocabulary test online and get the feedback right away. Okay, and then we become more ambitious. You know, yeah, how about speaking? Can we do assessment? Okay. Directly with AI. Okay, so that I will show you. Okay, look at the picture here. Can you see the picture? It's not really clear. Okay, but it's from GPT test. It's from Chen. Okay, so can you describe the picture? If you just saw it, you say, oh my God, this is complex. People are moving around. There is a temple-shaped kind of a building in the background, and people are like moving a dragon somewhere. Okay, so it's very difficult. Okay, so you can imagine the local students will have a hard time to describe. So this is a real potential for student with GPT. How do you do that? If you throw in a picture, you get an answer within 2 seconds. Can you read it? Okay? I promise it's not clear, but let's try my best to make it bigger. Okay? So, do you see the answer? This is vision, the AI vision. AI can see pictures and give you descriptions. Do you see color? Do you notice that actually the machine recognizes color? Do you see white shirt and blue pants? This is amazing. They can recognize people are wearing white shirt and blue pants. Okay? Then you can see if we turn around, using these kind of devices, using this kind of mechanism, can we help students to answer the question? Of course. You got a correct answer by AI, so you can have AI to judge your answer. So we have a picture description test online. Okay, so you can choose a picture, you say something about a picture, and the AI give you a score. Is it fair? Yes, this is reasonable because AI can actually describe a picture. So you have, based on that, you can score by ChatGPT. Okay, and then they can even give you your feedback on the point with this. They probably say, oh, you probably didn't describe the color. Probably you didn't describe the detail enough. Okay? So it's a very effective practice for students to prepare this kind of test. Okay? So this is an application to do this. And then we jump back to speaking. Okay, some people say, the most difficult part is when I need to do an interview with the rater, right? Because the final part, you're going to be rated by human. Okay, you have to talk to someone who passed the exam, okay, so they decide they want to hire you or not, based on your speaking skill. Okay, so can you do that? You can talk about a certain topic, and then they assess your pronunciation and your content at the same time. Okay, and this is not easy task, right? This is very complicated. Okay, so this is from Microsoft. And Microsoft gave us a very strong idea, say you can judge pronunciation and you can judge the content. Okay, so here we get 2 scores. I get 94, I get 94 for pronunciation, I get only 89 for my content. But do you trust that? Of course we don't, right? We need to find a human rater to double check with the results. Okay, but anyway, then we think about this whole process and say, if possible, in the future, if there is an agent online all the time, okay, then we have a dialogue system. Through dialogue, you can assess Taiwanese students' English ability. Is it nice? You don't need to find a human to interact with the student if you have a virtual teacher or a virtual rater. That would be great, right? Okay, so move on. So this is the system. So you choose a topic, you record, okay, and then you are interacting. Okay, and then you give you feedback along the time. They are showing, like as I just showed you, the ASR results. Okay, and then finally they give you output about your pronunciation and your content. Okay, and then, okay, that's the video I showed. Okay, so you want to see the prototype, right? Okay, so let's see. Okay, click on it. Okay.
Hi there. Welcome to our coffee shop. What can I get for you today? We have coffee, tea, and some yummy pastries.
I want hot coffee.
Great choice. Would you like a small, medium, or large hot coffee? And do you want any milk or sugar with it?
Just a large one without any milk or sugar.
Perfect. That's a large hot coffee, black, coming right up. Would you like to try any pastries with your coffee? We have muffins and cookies.
Oh, great. Muffin would be great.
Awesome. So that's a large hot coffee and a muffin. Which flavor of muffin would you like? We have blueberry, chocolate chip, and banana.
Blueberry, please.
Okay, message blueberry. The machine recognizes.
I think you mean blueberry. Got it. So that's a large hot coffee and a blueberry muffin. Your total is $5. 50. How would you like to pay?
Oh, cash, please.
Thank you. Here's your coffee and muffin. Enjoy. Would you like some napkins?
Oh, that would be great.
Very thoughtful.
Here are your napkins. Enjoy your coffee and muffin. Let me know if you need anything else. Have a great day.
Very nice. Okay? And then you see your score right away. Okay? So based on my performance, the system is judging us like a B. I don't know whether to choose B1 or B. I think I choose the B1 level. Okay? Then you keep your pronunciation score with your content score. Okay? You say, wow, that's interesting. But then the story is not as simple, right? And how do you validate the scoring? Okay? Does it correlate with the human rating? Okay? And it's consistent? You can see some misrecognition by the system. Okay? So how do you deal with those problems? That's what our team actually handle. Okay? So that's almost everything I want to share. Okay? But the last slide probably, okay, I would like to show you. Oh, that's sorry, I forget. Another thing you can do is do automatic essay scoring. Okay? Similar. Okay? Speaking is more challenging to me. Okay? But for essay scoring, this is much, much easier compared to speaking. It's less variable to control. Okay? So you can get scores and feedback. Okay? And even we are actually dealing with problem of retraining or fine-tuning the model. Okay? This is getting very tricky. We are getting the support from a lot of engineers and experts in computer science about the fine-tuning part. If you're curious about that, I will explain later. Okay, so the potential on the last slide, okay, the potential of the AI in all aspects of language education. So you can do personalized learning, okay, because you're going to take care of the individual learning speed. Okay, smart tutoring, you can see how smart is the tutor. You can see they can interact with you, talking to you, correct you, give you feedback. Automate grading, as I showed in the last part, you can see this is really amazing. We can never imagine that using just before 2 years ago. We can never imagine that the AI is give you a content and pronunciation score. This is like unbelievable. Okay, and language translation and accessibility, definitely. No one I know is using Google Translate. It's very cool. Everybody is using ChatGPT. Okay, the translation quality is much, much better than Google Translate. Okay, I'm not advertising for them, but I'm telling the truth because the expert running it is stopped using Google Translate. Okay, the quality is not that good. Okay, so I will stop here and thank you for your patience with me. I'm actually giving a lot of different perspectives, but all prototype. I told you some of the crazy ideas are simply prototype. Okay, but when we're ready, we are going to deploy everything into the website. Okay, because we are dealing with the real needs of students. We want to make it perfect before we really announce it. Okay, perfect in a way. Okay, perfect is not really, you can improve. It means at this certain stage, we reach the top. Okay, and we decided this is time for to share with students and teachers. Okay, I will stop here and thank you for your patience with me. Okay, thank you. Yeah, good question. That's exactly the minister is pushing us. It's a minister actually pushing us and say, Dr. Chen, you have a lot of computer ability, but can you tell us by showing us the
their speaking and the writing skill are really assessed. Because we generally focus on reading and you mean Taiwan? In the past, I don't know, if you want to see international ranking, okay, we are higher, we are better than Japan. Okay, we are lower than Korea. Okay, you see the ranking now? Okay, it's like relative speaking. Okay, but number one in a country like that, you want the number one? Belong to Netherlands. Netherlands, yeah, it's number one. German, okay, that's the top tier. Okay, the top tier is okay, European countries. Okay, because they got an advantage, right? You follow me? Okay, the similarity of the languages, the pronunciation, the context, okay, things like that. But we are ranking like, I don't know the exact number because each year, if you check the EF, you are really curious about the answer, you can check the EF index. There is international or English first agency. Okay, they publish all the national comparisons, okay, each year. Okay, and we are better than Japan overall. We are slightly lower than Korea, okay? And we still have far way to catch up if you want to compare to these European countries. Like Finland, okay, like Germany, okay, we have no way to compare with them. But yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yes, but then we need to have like a national level kind of survey, right? This is saying. But we haven't tried that. We are just beginning. Find another website. If you're really curious, but it requires a local ID to log in. We are doing a national survey at this point. It's a website called Test My English. Okay, I give you the name. It's Test My English website. If you log into the Test English My website, it gives you a CAF scores. They give you A1, A2, B1, B2 kind of thing, okay, like a test. Okay, so we are just beginning because the website is only 6 months old. Okay, so we are doing a national survey at this point and trying to collect the data to reply to your big question. Okay, that's from minister level. This is the minister asking, Howard, can you do things like that and tell us the answer? I don't have the data, I don't know. But it could be difficult because students, as a student, you like testing. No student like or enjoy, okay, tests. Okay, so you want to persuade them to join voluntarily. Okay, to say, do it. Okay, please come to the website. So we need to do a lot of promotion to invite them to come. But not too bad, we now have 30,000 already. Okay, not too bad, within 6 months we have 30,000 students already registered and attend the test at different levels. Okay, so hopefully in the future we have better reports to the minister about this. Okay. But this is good question and good concern. Okay, otherwise it's meaningless to invest so much. Yeah. So any final question? I should let you go because time is up. Yeah, let's take the final question if you like. Yeah. If not, I should let you go. And okay, if you have further questions, feel free to email me if you like. Okay. Yeah, thank you for your patience. Anyway, thank you.
helping them learn, especially like English. So this free website